Alright, next up we have Urien from Street Fighter 3. It's a character I don't know much about, but I do know he has a charge move like Balrog and Blanca and that. We got 10 trials. When it's basic, I'll just do the combo, and when it gets complicated, I'll give you any tips and tricks on how to get you through those. And then I'll cut right to me completing the challenge. Alright, so for number 1, we do have a charge move. So basically you hold back, then hit forward, and kick button, you get his little shoulder attack. So whenever it comes to doing these trials and you see that in there, the first thing you have to tell yourself is, can I hold back the whole time throughout the combo? So in this case, it's super small, of course you can. So as soon as I jump, I'm going to hold straight back because the next move is standing medium punch. So in this case, there's no command normal. So let's say if there was extra moves in here and back and medium punch actually did what this game actually has is forward medium punch. Well, that's not the medium punch they're calling for. So you got to keep that in mind. And then if that's the case, sometimes you have to find the earliest moment that you can charge and go from there. In this case, it's super simple, but like I said, that's my thought process. When you're jumping, if you're able to have the charge throughout the whole thing, as soon as you jump, hold back or down back, depending on the combo, then you'll be ready to unleash it. It'll get more complicated as we go along, but get used to that if you like to use charge characters. I'm just going to briefly let you know that in number 2, if you're having trouble, you're really canceling the down up special move, the knee. You're canceling that on the second hit of the crouching heavy punch. So you get 2 hits, you can cancel out the first, but you're not going to combo. So you let that second hit land, and then you can combo from that into the knee and you'll land it. Alright, number 4 can be a little funny because you might not realize it, but if you hold crouching heavy punch for too long, you're going to end up canceling into his down up charge move like this. Like that, except I didn't get EX. And what you want is the fireball, so the way you remedy that is you hit down and let go like this. And then you hit the fireball. And then from there, if you're in the corner, I don't know if the fireball will actually hit him, so I don't know how that'll work. But typically when you do that from here, you just want to dash forward like that and hit heavy punch to juggle him. Not too bad, but if you're getting that move, it's because you're holding down the heavy punch. Just do, like I said, like this, and then pop out the fireball, the EX fireball. Of course, realize it's medium punch and heavy punch. You can't add the light one in it. You'll get a different trajectory on the fireball. And that should do it for this one. Pretty easy, but I want to let you know that little tip right there. Number 5. So here's a good example of knowing when to charge and when you can't charge. So to start this one off, we need to do a standing heavy punch counter. Now, you have to combo with the down up charge, the EX down up move. So obviously you can't do that if you're starting from a standing heavy punch. But what you need to do, as soon as you tap the heavy punch button, immediately hold down. So what you're going to want to do here is the second part is you don't want to just do down forward up or down up. You actually want to do down back, up back. So what that does is it still holds the charge so that you can juggle into the EX shoulder. You can practice that without the counter. So if you just do this like that, it's pretty easy to do. It's just holding that charge. It's just a matter of doing down back, then up back. You have charge the whole time, and then you can just juggle into the EX. That's all there is to this one. Not too bad. Alright, so number 6 can be a little bit tricky. The idea is that you want to be able to do jumping medium punch and hit him before he lands with the crouching heavy that pops him up. Now you notice right there, he didn't really jump up that high. There's actually a sweet spot like this, there. Now if you notice, he kind of went a little bit higher. So from there you have to do the heavy kick, which is the shoulder, and then you have to cancel that into a super. That in itself might be tricky, but like I just did right there, you can practice that without doing the whole combo. You just wait till he comes on the way down like this. You got plenty of time to buffer super while that's connecting. Step right there, I slipped a little bit. Practice that a few times. It's all you're doing is catching the juggle, and then connect that first part. This one isn't really too bad, but that's what you want to do. Also, when you're doing your crouching heavy punch, you just hold down and back, and then you'll be charging the whole time. So then you could just do the super if you connect. Alright, number 7 is not too bad. When it comes to these the shields with Urien, you have to understand the directions actually matter. So in this case, we're lucky we can do back trigger to activate the shields, and then we could just do back kick and then combo into another shield. So from there, you're just juggling everything. It's actually pretty easy. So we're gonna pretend like we did heavy punch, V trigger. I mean, the crouching heavy kick is just nice for a knockdown, but this one's pretty easy. So just understand that, make sure you're not holding forward or even doing neutral, and then the shield will be exactly where you need it to be. This one's easy, but it won't always be that easy. Alright, number 8 is going to be a little bit more trickier than the one we just did. So what you're going to want to do here is, just like before, you want to avoid the charge. So when you're doing your crouching medium punch, you don't want to hold down before you start the combo, otherwise you'll get that. That's not what you want. You want this, the fireball, light punch and heavy punch. So that's the combination you need. And now when you hit your V trigger shield, keep in mind you can't have any directions being held. You actually need just the V trigger. No directions, otherwise the shield won't be in the right spot. So what you want to do, as soon as you hit V trigger, make sure you feel like you hit it. Then that's when you want to hold back. And as soon as that pops out, as soon as you're ready, pretty much right away, you get that charge, and then you're gonna just hit him with the shoulder. It's gonna hit him into that shield, and after that, you'll get a couple more hits, and you're gonna do a crouching heavy punch. Now we already did this move before, so we go 1, 2, like that on the second hit. So we've already done that part, so that part should be pretty easy. The hard part will be getting that shoulder in while the shield is happening. So let's get a couple of these parts down. So remember, don't just wait here, hold. Just go like this. Okay, that probably would have worked, except I only hit crouching heavy punch once and it never came out. Let's try that again. There. See, I just did the whole move there. I didn't go crazy. I just took my time. Like I said, when you hit that V trigger, you hit your down back and get ready for what you feel like is a good enough time to throw the shoulder out, and then from there you'll be able to just double tap heavy punch. And since you'll only be crouching, you're already charged for the next move that you can do you can finish off with that move. It's a lot, but it's not as hard as it looks as long as you're not messing up your V skill. Alright, so number 9 isn't too bad. So what you want to do here is, you got your jumping heavy punch, you got your crouching heavy punch, 2 hits, it's going to launch them in the air. What you want to do here is you don't want to cancel that. You want to let the 2 hits go, and then you want to hold down back while it's going and hit up back to do the headbutt. Or not to do the shoulder. I guess it's a headbutt. So if you do down back then up back, you're going to be holding your charge so that you can follow up with that shoulder. So let's give that a go. There, so that's the first part. That's not too bad. Now from there you have to V-trigger the first hit of the EX shoulder from there. Now make sure that you don't hit any other direction, otherwise that shield won't go behind it. So what will happen when you do that correctly, the shoulder's gonna bounce him into the shield and come back your way. Then you want to do the EX fireball, but make sure you're hitting the medium and heavy punch version. Don't use a different kind of button, just use medium and heavy, and that's gonna pop him back. Now, once he goes on the shield, he's gonna bounce forward one more time, but then you have to land the standing heavy kick. And this part is actually harder than it looks. You want to wait, but not too long, hold, and hit him on the way down. So let's see if we can get a good example of that. All right, let's give that a quick run to see if we can actually land a heavy kick to get a good feel for it. There we go. Pretty hard. I mean, you can do it too soon. Maybe if you hold it at the right time and you practice that a few times, and you'll be able to get the rest of it. It's really not that bad. Alright, we made it to number 10. This is the last one for Urien. Hopefully you're enjoying the video up to this point. If you are, please leave me a comment letting me know and give me a thumbs up. Alright, number 10 has a lot going on. This one's going to be challenging, so let's break this up in a couple different parts. First, we need to get started with the first couple of moves to get into V-trigger. So let's try that. Of course, remember, when you hit V-trigger, you have to be neutral. If you hit any other direction, the shield's going to get all messed up. So we're going to do a standing heavy punch, back heavy kick. That's going to land, and you V-trigger from there. And then what's going to happen is you're going to hit punch. The shield should be behind him. The punch is going to hit him into the shield. He'll come back. Then you want to hit forward a medium punch to do the same thing. And then one more time with crouching heavy punch. And here's where things get tricky. We've already saw this issue with earlier trials, is that you don't want to hold down for too long with crouching medium punch or crouching heavy punch. So you want to do down heavy punch and then fireball. So you have to practice that. It doesn't work too good in the corner. You want to do that. So get out of the corner if you're doing that. Just hit down punch and then fireball. Do that a few times. Then you don't have to worry about it. Now here's the thing, after you hit the fireball, you have to be holding back. So, like this. See how I do the fireball? And I'm holding back, okay? From there, now, it's just sort of like the other combo where you're gonna cancel your shoulder into a super. And of course you can cancel that on its own, super easy. But the hard part is you need to charge the shoulder just after the fireball comes out. Let's see if we can do up into the heavy shoulder, and I won't cancel into the super. Alright, so I did all the way up into the fireball, but I messed it up because I didn't follow the one rule that I needed to do, and I realized that. And that's don't hold down. You gotta hold down like this, and then charge back to the kick. So let's give that a shot one more time. This time I'm going to try to cancel into the shoulder. So this. And I just forgot to charge in time. So if you get up to that point and you're like, I didn't charge, that's a good thing because you'll do it a couple more times and then you'll remember. It's just sort of like muscle memory, and I don't expect anybody to get this on the first or second try, but when you get there, you'll know that feeling like, oh man, I did the fireball without charging. So let's see if we can get it with the charge this time. There. And I just had to cancel that into the super, and I'm ready to go for this. So if you can get to that point and land that heavy shoulder, you're ready to go too. And the time it takes for you to do that shoulder and enter the super is really easy. So just cancel that, and you'll be done with the Urien. Alright, that's going to finish up Urien. I got 2 more to go for Volume 1, then it will be done. Hopefully this was a helpful video. If it was, let me know in the comments.